Thank you to both chairmen, and as everyone else, we need to start with a thank you because the staff worked hard, both sides of the aisle, to put together this product that is essentially gets us started. You know, every year at this time, I'm clearly reminded that we're working together to actually do the most critical job we have as a legislature, and that's to create a balanced, and don't miss this word, sustainable budget. There's a lot to it. If you think about it, as a legislator, you could be overwhelmed with establishing priorities. However, there are three areas I want to talk about because I'm heavily involved in them. First, I want to clarify one, health issues, of course, but one of my newer colleagues mentioned something about cutting some of the health funding issues that we deal with annually, funding for ALS and diabetes and all those critical things. That's done routinely. It's happened under every governor since I've been here for the decade. We all work as legislators very hard to get those back in. Hey, they're back in. I'm really glad to see that. So I just want to clear that up. This isn't anything unusual. It's an unfortunate routine. The other thing I wanted to talk about is education, also really important to me, important to this budget. And why I want to talk about it is I've had some interesting experience with real people, and I want to share those with you. Some of the discussion I've had, I've either just had the opportunity to talk to these folks, or I've created some of the opportunity to talk to school board folks, to teachers, to everyone involved in the education side of it, and also taxpayers. None of them was complaining to me about the amount. They wanted to talk to me about things that we're doing, folks, as legislators. They wanted to talk about, give us some flexibility here. We've tried to do that. We've worked on that, and we've got a lot of irons in the fire when it comes to dealing with some of the mandates. We have a hard time with the federal mandates, of course, but with any of the state-related mandates that we have a hand in, we've worked hard. We're continuing to work on that. I was able to tell them that. I felt really good about that. They talked about things like charter school reform. I know we're all looking at that. We have some fixes we need to put in place. We're working on that as well. One of the mandates they're struggling with is special ed. Look, we've got legislation out there now. I'm hoping to work on that. We can form a commission that's going to get in there and find out what we can do. Federal mandates, we got to work with them. And again, every one of them said something to me about prevailing wage. So there are a number of us who are looking at that, the cost of some of their programs. Even in Derry Township, they're putting a new roof on one of the schools, and I think it's $2.35 million. It would be 15% less if they didn't have to pay prevailing wage. Look, there's a lot of issues that are critical here. There are only a certain amount of dollars available to us. The taxpayers, as I tell fourth grades, taxpayers have to put it in before we can take it out to do anything with that money. So the education funding is critical. It's good, being the largest increase I know I've ever seen and I understand in history. The other thing, and I will sit down because there's a lot of things I think are good, there's a lot of things we're all going to be talking about, but I am so glad that $50 million for the increased lottery services for our older population are still there, even though we haven't, made the progress some of us looked for with the managed operation. That's still, I guess, under consideration. But we've got a huge growing population among our aging, most important people we got to deal with here, and I think it's important is the kids, educating them well. I know we can do that, taking care of our older population as those Medicaid numbers grow there. So thanks so much for what you're doing, and I'm looking forward to working with all of you on making a finished product.